What's happening, road dogs and highway hounds? Somebody left a comment on an older video about Elogs that I did when I was driving over the road, and said, "Are you trying to say that, you know, it's better to cheat on Elogs or to use the old?" I can't remember what he said. Kind of makes me want to puke, but I have to think that he is probably a regulator or a DOT officer or something like that, you know. And here's the problem with E-logs and government control as a solution, generally speaking. Some things it works, some things it doesn't. With something like trucking, it's an extremely regulated industry, and there's a mentality within trucking that says that more control, tighter parameters, stiffer penalties and fines is the way to fix the problem, you know? And we can get our accident rate down to 0%. That's the goal. You know, here's the thing. First of all, law enforcement, any government official, most government officials, take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Your job, if you're a statesman, is to protect my freedom, not make me safe. Make me safe, I mean, that is part of the job, but, you know, to defend freedom is paramount. You know, I just been watching this whole thing with the nurse in Utah and the state trooper. This kind of fits in a little bit. The nurse was standing up for the guy's right to privacy. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I'll try and put a link below in what I'm talking about here. But truck drivers have to give up their constitutional rights. I have to drive a truck, I have logged my entire adult life and submit paperwork. I went to a drug testing thing, and I called the, you know, I just wasn't being a smart aleck, well, maybe a little bit, but I called the collection person, an agent of the government, you know, and I'm not with the government, you know, but if you are acting on behalf of the government, you're an agent of the government. That's what an agent is. And not saying that that's necessarily wrong, but what I'm saying is, here, let me get back to what the E-log thing. E-logs are dangerous. They create a racing mentality, but a lot of these governing agencies just, the answer is always more power, tighter regulations, stiffer penalties, and more invasiveness. Oh yeah, back to that Utah thing. What about the trucker? Did you see the video of what happened? Somebody, I mean, there was cops behind this person, and there was a cop on the shoulder, right? And the guy was like, "Screw this, I'm done." And I mean, it looks to me like he just drove right into the front of a semi and went bam, hit the semi. Now that truck driver that got caught in the fire explosion, okay, he has to give up his rights. He has to report. He has to, you know, give up bodily fluids whenever wanted. The nurse, I'm thinking, probably didn't realize that, no, he's a truck driver. He has to give up his blood when they ask for it. You know, if there's, you know, I mean, that's just, you know, you have to give up your constitutional rights to be a truck driver. I wish people would bring that up more, but they don't. And how do you give up your constitutional rights? I don't want to get on a big wah-wah crybaby thing here, but no, with the e-logs, are you saying, I can't stand it when people do these straw man arguments. Are you saying that, cheating is better? It's like, no, man. What I'm saying is that your 100% control of people, stripping away their freedom, the freedom of choosing. Most truck drivers out here just want to go do their thing and go home. I got pulled over here on 280 scales one time. I didn't have my logbook fully filled out. I went to the south side of Chicago, which is about 3 hours from here. I sat there all day long. You get there, you think you're going to get unloaded, and you're kind of running around, and it was just like, oh my gosh, these guys are taking forever. And you start, for whatever reason, I didn't fill out my logbook. I just didn't think about it. And people get behind on their paperwork, but not a truck driver. If you get a truck, you cannot fall behind on your paperwork. You have to be up to date. This is paper logs. But, anyway, long story short, I drove 3 hours up there. I drove 3 hours back. And right here outside of town on the scales, I got pulled in. A guy was out on the scale. He's like, let me see your logs. Like, dang. And I explained to him. I showed him where my bills were. This is where I was. This is what I was doing. I only got 3 hours driving. Well, I'm going to have to shut you down. So he shut me down on the scale. And the truck was put out of service. And it's common sense. Common sense needs to come in someplace. No, we have to follow the regulation to the T. We have to 100% comply, because the rules are what keep us safe. It's not me caring about people, not wanting to put people in danger. It's not common sense saying, oh, I'm tired right now, I should pull over. See, that's the problem with e-logs. If I feel like I'm tired, I can't pull over, because that e-log is still clicking away. That's what I'm saying. The e-log still clicks away when common sense interferes with the rules and the regulations. Me, as a human being who cares about my safety, as well as the safety of everybody else around me, my common sense, I should be able to be the captain of my ship, but I'm not. Somebody has written regulations. Somebody is putting computers in people's trucks to where I say, man, I need about 30-minute nap. I just need a 30-minute nap and I'll be good, because I know my body. And my body's telling me I need to shut down for about 30 minutes. And I can't do it. And the reason I can't do it is because this computer, that's another reason, all you Bitcoin, Litecoin people, that's partially why I hate computers. They're not the answer to everything. They're not the answer to everything. These smart contracts, Ethereum, whatever, yeah, maybe in certain instances, but yes, we'll put everything on a computer and the plants will tell us when they're thirsty. Well, you know what? Water it once a week. It'll probably do okay. Don't lose that human element. And that's what I'm saying with the e-logs. You lose the human element. Care about your plant. Love your plant. Look at it. See, oh man, looking a little sick today. Hey, want a drink? Maybe I need to repot you. You know what I mean? You develop a relationship with your plant. You don't have your computer saying, oh, add 32. What a sterile, unfeeling, just whatever. Who wants to live like that? I sure don't. But no, e-logs are just too rigid. They don't bring in the human element. And I just want to kind of smack the dude, because I'm sorry, I shouldn't say I want to smack you. I tend to exaggerate, it's kind of like the flowery way of, making things interesting. But actually, no, I just, you know how some people like try and put up a are you saying you want to break the law? That's your answer? You know, it's like this smart aleck way of responding and diminishing my